How long did it take to master the classic hat trick you do? Because it is a classic.
Rayhan, it took me a while. It was something that Jeff kind of came up with and we talked about, and he said, I want you to do some kind of trick with a fedora. So I found it online, actually. And I didn't end up doing the one that he had in mind.
No, he was
I did
very
my own
specific
thing.
about that
His
one.
was like this twisty thing, and mine was like flip it up the arm and onto the head. But it took a while, and the tough thing was every hat is different and has different,
different
ratio of weight and
Yeah.
proportion, and so balancing it is specific to that particular hat, and I didn't get that hat until the night before, so needless to say, I stayed up a long time that night. The day before, I stayed up a long time that night working on that trick, so thank you for recognizing that. And
That's nice.
I can still do it from time to time, but I think it falls
It's
more
very,
than it
very
lands.
difficult.
Yeah, it
That's
falls
the
more
way.
than it lands.
That's the way it was when they gave me my gun, and I stayed up all night working with my gun.
Yep.
To make sure that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you
could
telling me about
handle
that,
it
and me being
well.
like, Tim, we don't need to talk about that.
It wasn't appropriate.
It wasn't
was it?
really
In front of-
appropriate.
Just met the crew. And
Yeah.
It was the first day of shooting.
It was weird, but
But I played an FBI agent, so I thought it was important to talk about
Yep.
my holster.
Denise W. in Hanover, Pennsylvania. You've commented in past, this is for you.
Oh, okay.
You've commented in past interviews that you might have become an architect if you'd not become an actor. I was wondering if you do any carpentry or any type of woodworking.
Really? That's a good question. I do a little you know what? That's like that's on my bucket list. Is to do fine carpentry, like
Like
crafts-
woodworking.
making a
That's
cabinet
re-
with
yeah.
no nails, mortise and tenon, tongue and groove, that kind of thing.
Oh, tongue and groove, man, that's crazy. That takes some crazy skills.
I don't. I'm pretty handy around the house, but not carpentry. My dad is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's you tapped into a lifelong dream of mine.
When they make it the bucket list too,
Denise.
starring Tim and
Bucket
Morgan
list.
Fairchild.
Ooh, that'd
Be on the
nice,
lookout
wouldn't
for the
it?
carpentry aspect.
Tim and Morgan Fairchild. Lisa K. from Kingston, Pennsylvania. What would you like to see in season 2 in terms of character development, background, or plot lines? This is an excellent question because I can shed a little light.
Please,
No,
I know.
go.
You know what? He always knows more than I do, so I want him to go first, so then I'll be up.
This is a question. I got off the phone with Jeff Easton, and Jeff said, "What in season 2, you guys will sing. You and Diane will be singing." He said I could say that.
All right.
We delve more into the music box, and
More into the music box.
yes, we
Right.
yeah.
More music box.
Yes, and
People,
there's a parallel.
people respond to the music box from on the street. That's the word on the street.
Yeah, the word, no, but it's true though. It's amazing. There's like a parallel anthology going on with the music box, with your story with the music box and mine.
Ooh.
Yeah, we both, and not
Ooh.
either one of us tell each other.
Me likey.
I just kind of went. I got street there for a second.
You did, and I liked it. What?
Whoa.
They don't know.
But there is an episode which I think you'll like. We have a flashback episode on the time that I first arrested you.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, isn't that good?
I like that. What do I would like, well, it's hard for me to answer this because so much comes to fruition in the finale. If you see it next week, like a lot of different storylines really come to a head and get solved, and not solved, but set us up really nicely for the second season. But I can't really talk about them because they're kind of cliffhanger type stuff.
Right.
But I hope my character progresses in the direction that we leave him in at the end of the season. Did that make any sense at all? Was that linear at all? I'm not really sure.
So do you want season 2 to start maybe the day after
No, I want it to be later, but I want it to be related to what happens. Like I want that to be kind of the driving force of the season for me.
Anthology.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be. It's like
will be.
figuring out how this happened, why, and how to.
It is. That's
get back.
And then the music box is mine. They're both really
Okay.
It does.
Sweet.
It does. And I think the donkey stays throughout.
He does.
Yeah.
The donkey.
I
Oh
think
God,
so.
good. He was amazing to work with.
He was brilliant.
He was. I mean, he got a little cranky at like hour 12.
I would too if
Yeah.
I kept having to do that same
It's
take
true.
over and over again in the cold.
Yeah, it was
Would
cold.
not. I mean, they finally got oats
Donkeys
to him,
aren't- yeah.
like, at about.
And donkeys aren't cold weather animals. You know, they're
They're not.
they're desert animals.
They're burros.
They're burros.
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 Oh, we just gave away the donkey.
Well, you went
Gave-
there, and I
I
had to
did.
go with you. So,